Lo estamos grabando para que no pudo venir, para poder darle la oportunidad para ellos a ver el grabamiento de la reunión de hoy. So I want you to just enjoy the meeting. The music, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and start the meeting, and then I'll introduce our hosts, our co-hosts, and then they will introduce our speakers. Let me just stop the music. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Vamos a comenzar con la reunión. Bienvenidos a todos. Voy a introducir a lo que me van a ayudar hoy aquí en la línea. Yo me llamo Damaris Alvarado, soy la presidente de Latinos Educando Juntos y también la dueña de Playhouse, que son dos organizaciones de child care centers en el sur Filadelfia. So I'm going to translate that in English. My name is Damaris Alvarado. I'm the co-founder of Latinos Educando Juntos and also the executive director of the Children's Playhouse in South Philadelphia. Aquí tenemos a Marcelino Caldenas, that he's going to be our co-host. So Marcelino lo va a ayudar a nosotros con las traducciones. Y también tenemos a Cynthia Ortiz, and she's also going to be our co-host. And Cynthia Ortiz is also going to help us with the translations throughout the meeting. We have a very impactful meeting. I hope you guys enjoyed the music. Un poquito de música para celebrar la última reunión de hoy del año de Latinos Educando Juntos. Y después comenzamos otra vez en enero.
Porque eso le pasó también a Portugal.
So I'm just going to mute whoever's please, if you could remain mute so everybody can listen and hear in. Y aquí le entrego a Cynthia.
Buenas tardes. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. So I'm going to start with the housekeeping rules. So voy a empezar con las normas de la casa. So empezamos. Let's start. Your name and your organization and your email in the chat box. Please remain mute. Raise your hand to talk or unmute to ask any questions. Use chat box and we will share. Sections are being recorded and will be shared in the website. Active translation, transcripts, language options. So las normas de la casa, su nombre, el nombre de su organización y su correo electrónico en el cuadro del chat. Por favor, permanezca en silencio, levante las manos para hablar o active el audio para hacer preguntas. Use el cuadro de chat y compartiremos las secciones en esta grabación y se compartirán en el sitio de web. Activar las opciones de idioma y transcripción de traducción. Gracias.
Thank you, Cynthia. Gracias, Cynthia. El próximo tenemos un icebreaker y va a ser con Marcelino Caldenas. Marcelino. Did we lose Marcelino? I think we did lose him.
No, he's muted. Marcelino, unmute, baby.
I'm sorry. Saludos a todos. Mi nombre, como me conocen, ya mi nombre es Marcelino. Nada, para romper el hielo hoy, nosotros queremos hacerle unas preguntas. To break the ice, we want to ask you these questions. The first one, la primera es, what are you looking forward to this holiday season and or the new year? ¿Qué esperas para esta temporada navideña y el año nuevo? Pueden contestar por el chat box, or we can answer on the chat box what you want.
So I just to rephrase the question, I'm sorry, Marcelino.
I'm
I
sorry,
just want to make sure. No, you did a great job, Marcelino. I love it. What are you looking forward to this holiday season and or New Year? So, ¿qué esperas de esta temporada navideño o el año nuevo? Lo puede poner en el chat box o pueden mute para poder a compartir. Pues para mí, tener tiempo con mi familia, un tiempo, aunque sea 2 días con mi familia y pagar el teléfono y pagar el correo electrónico. So for me, it's like spending time with my family, at least 2 days of uninterrupted time with my family. So.
Yeah, para mí, esta Navidad, este season, quiero compartir con mis hijos. Ellos vienen de Puerto Rico y con mi familia. I want to meet with my kids. They live in Puerto Rico, and this situation make me very, very happy with all my family together in my house.
Awesome. Thank you, Marcelino. And we have so many in the chat, people looking forward to spending time with their families, hoping to lose the pandemic weight. Me too. I'm hoping to do that, but I have to stop eating to do that. Looking forward to finishing a degree program. Woohoo, Tracy, this year in June. Congratulations. Got to the rest and connected with my kids over the holiday so I can get it done. This is awesome. Time with family. Yo deseo salud para disfrutar con la familia.
Mónica.
Mucha salud y tiempo en familia, compartir con las familias, be with my family, health, going back to school. Oh, Cynthia, you're going back to school. Congratulations. That is amazing. Let's celebrate that.
Yeah.
I did see also vacation. Yes, vacation is really important as well. If anybody else wants to put in the chat, I'll be more than willing, happy to share. Si alguien más quiere compartir, lo puede poner en el chat y nosotros podemos compartirlo. Okay, thank you, Marcelino. Marcelino, would you like to introduce our next guest?
Okie dokie. I want to introduce OCD Christine River, Director of the Bureau of ELRC Operations. Queremos presentarle a Christine River, directora de la Oficina de Operaciones de ELRC, del programa ELRC.
Thank you.
Hi, Christine.
Hey, everybody. So sorry it took me a minute to get off my mute and put the camera on. Great to be here. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I apologize that I can't say this in Spanish, but I tried to put it in the chat.
But we have live transcripts. So yeah, and we are also here to translate for you. So typically that's what we're Marcelino and I are gonna, bounce off together for anything you say. So if you want to pause in between, your sentences, we'll pause and then I'll go ahead and start translating. Okay.
Wonderful. Thank you.
But we do appreciate you coming and speaking with the providers. Is there anything you would like to share? I know providers have some questions. I did ask them to send some questions. I'll look those up. I had them here. It's only 2 questions, but I think most providers will probably, unmute or probably put them in a chat or something. Okay.
Okay, great. Sure. Just want to do a shout out to say for most folks, hopefully are aware that we are on to our 10th funding initiative for GrantWise out to the providers. So it has been very busy since the pandemic, and I'll pause because I know you have to translate, and I apologize. I talk way too fast, so I'm going to be really mindful. I'm going to pause.
We speak faster. Christine quiere decir que ellos están en su 10 temporal de fondos que ellos están trabajando muy fuertemente en mandarle los grants y los fondos por los fondos. That's it. Go ahead. That's all I got for them.
Okay, well, I just want to also say, despite those various funding initiatives, and that my team here at Ocdel is responsible for issuing those along with the Early Learning Resource Center operations, which are who we oversee. But I want to recognize that it's never enough, and folks are really struggling right now in the childcare realm and the ECE realm to just stay afloat. So I want to just acknowledge that despite all the efforts that have been being made, that's a lot. Sorry.
La oficina, la oficina de Christine, ellos ayudan el ELRC. Ellos son lo que ven por arriba del ELRC y ellos están ayudando y trabajando muy fuertemente en tratar de mandarle a terminar todos los grants para que todo el mundo reciba sus fondos.
And then I just want to say that I'm so excited to be here, and we are always thinking about ways to ensure that our Spanish-speaking providers are having the resources and supports that you need from our ELRC operations. So we welcome your feedback and need your feedback and in how to enhance and continue to improve those supports for you out in the community.
Awesome. Cristina está muy contenta para estar aquí, para estar en una plataforma de latinos y también para poder hablar con ustedes y poder compartir con ustedes, para que ustedes puedan compartir con ellos en cómo ellos pueden mejorar y incluir la comunidad hispana en todo lo que ellos están haciendo para que ustedes se sientan que son partes, ¿verdad? Y también si tienen algunas preguntas o algunos recomendaciones, mejor dicho, para ellos, ella está aquí para oír las recomendaciones, para estar seguro que el ELRC están ayudándole a ustedes y mandándole los recursos que ustedes necesitan.
So did you want to start with the questions? And then certainly I want to make sure whatever you need from me.
Absolutely, absolutely. We can definitely open up the door to that. Ahora mismo estoy abriendo la reunión para algunas preguntas que ustedes pueden tener por Christine. Si ustedes tienen algunas preguntas, pueden ponerlo en el chat o pueden decirlo. Right now, we're opening up the door. Sorry, I forgot to say it in English. We're opening up the door to any questions that any of the providers may have for Christine in regards to the ELRCs, maybe granting, or any questions that you may have. You could either put in a chat or unmute to speak. I'm just going to put myself on mute for.
Hi, I have a question. I'm Zakia Scott, and I have a question in reference to the ELRC waiting list.
Okay, well, right now we don't have a waiting list. We haven't had one for the last 2 years based on the pandemic, but some providers do have waiting lists just based on their capacity. So I'll just pause though, because I'm assuming you may have more to the question about the waiting list. So go ahead.
Yes. Some of the families that we service or that I service here at the center, when we are helping them fill out the paperwork for ELRC, we're gathering all of the documents, all of the information needed. However, it's still taking an extended period of time in order to even get a call back about missing information or whether or not they were approved. And it's kind of like a domino effect, right? Because these families need care in order to work. And if they're unable to work, then they're unable to take care, the things that they need to take care of, and then the child is kind of, just kind of left in the wind. Is there any way to kind of navigate that to make the process a little bit quicker? Because we've been processing it here ourselves, by sending it off and, sitting directly with families and filling out all of the paperwork. However, it's still taking a really long time.
Well, can I just ask what region because we do have 19 regional hubs, so it's really helpful to understand which region you're specifically
18
supporting. Okay, so Philadelphia. Okay,
Yes.
So my first recommendation would be because Philadelphia has they have the translation services. They've got their eligibility staff right there. If at all possible, and again, I'm not sure which organization you're from, so I apologize. But if there's ever an opportunity for the applicant to actually go physically to meet with the ELRC, that may prohibit some of the delays, because they would then work with that individual right on the spot and deal with whatever missing information was needed and all of that. Now, obviously, if you're supporting and assisting folks and then sending to the ELRC, then there may be a delay in that. But we field questions, quite honestly, almost daily of these type of thing, because there is a time frame that they're obligated under regulation to process things. And if things are getting delayed, we need to know that, because that's never a good thing, obviously. So any strategies that you think would help to mitigate the time lag, certainly let's work together to figure that out. But I know for sure 18 Philadelphia, I mean, obviously they're a massive region. They get a lot of applicants. So I don't want to mitigate your frustrations, because they're absolutely valid. But I definitely want to figure out if there's a way we could strategize, even maybe getting you guys direct contacts. And again, it would help to know, are you with a specific organization that assists in the applications?
Yes, so I'm at Children's Playhouse in South Philadelphia. So
Okay.
the ELRC office in South Philadelphia actually closed. So now all of our families have to go to West Philly just to get seen. So not only, I could only assume that the West Philly office is overcrowded because they're doing all of West Philadelphia, as well as now all of South Philadelphia too. Which could also be causing a delay, because I've had some families go directly there, and it's still a long period of wait time.
Oh, this is really, really good for me to be hearing, because I don't know, have you had an opportunity to connect with Roberto, who is the new administrator since Elise has left? Elise retired. I'm sure you worked with Elise in the past. Roberto would like to hear and be able to strategize on what makes sense to try to eliminate some of these delays. So I don't know, have you had an opportunity to meet?
I have not. No, I have not.
Okay, so if you want to send me, I did put my email in the chat. If you want to send me your contact information, I can certainly work to set something up, because very much open to hearing ideas. And again, if it means we need to potentially open another satellite office, that's all within the, a contractual, like, we want to just make sure the needs are being met across the community. So again, if they're not, that's really important for us to know, and then work together to figure out, well, what do we need to do to make that need be met? Does that make sense? So
Yes.
if you're open to having a call, I'm happy to facilitate something with the team over at Philly. So that would be Roberto and Diane. And again, I'm not sure who you are working with, but getting the right people at the table to understand some of the challenges is very, very important to me.
Okay, thank you so much. I'll definitely send you an email. I'm definitely
Perfect.
open.
Thank you so much. All right, thanks.
Thank you, Christine. Thank you. I have another question. I'm going to translate this question.
Okay.
Is there a way that families can get in contact with the ELRCs and get through to somebody? There's a lot of families that has had their cases closed because they cannot contact, or they're trying to reach their, I guess, sort of their reps or whoever's handling them, I'm sorry, and they're not able to effectively communicate, and then they end up closing their cases.
Okay, so if it's okay, I just want to give a little background so that I can answer the question appropriately. So the ELRCs are responsible for our child care work subsidy program, and that's obviously one piece. So that would be applicants, the families, and those that are trying to get enrolled in the child care works program. They also oversee the Keystone Stars quality rating improvement system, which is the stars, and I'm sure most on the call are aware, that's that one star level 1 through 4 credentialing. That program is also being managed. So they have quality coaches that manage that program. Then they have eligibility specialists and other folks, caseworkers and so forth, that manage the child care works program. So I just want to make sure I'm answering questions appropriately. So is it the actual individual applicants for CCW that are having issues, or is it providers that are not able to get a hold of quality coaches and folks at the ELRC that they're needing support? Because both of those programs are so important. Want to make sure I understand where that gap is, and then also any question, if you're able to let me know what region, because again, then I can pinpointedly provide, you know, some guidance to maybe if there's some stuff happening, kind of similar to what we just talking about, 18, which is the Philadelphia region. So again, sadly, because of the breadth of Pennsylvania, we're a massive state, and having 19 regions, I always need to know and want to know, like, if there's specific areas that we're having deficiencies, we need to then focus on that area. I hope I'm making sense.
Yeah,
So-
she understood. She said, she actually put in a text,
Oh,
in the
perfect.
chat box, both. She said both.
Oh, both. Okay, and what region are we talking about for this one?
And let's, Johanna, are you able to unmute so you can just,
Yeah, just if that's okay.
I'm not sure if she's able, oh, yeah, there she goes. Go
Okay.
ahead.
Yeah. Lo que sucede es que tengo muchos papás que se quejan de que reciben la carta del face to face, pero se les hace imposible comunicarse. Y muchas veces por el trabajo se les hace difícil ir hasta allá para ir a
So she's saying that there's a lot of families that are receiving their letters for recertifications, and then it's becoming very difficult. They can't get in contact with anybody. And then it's really difficult for them to make it to the offices because they're at work, and most of the, you know, families can't take days off of work. So that's one of them. Thank you, Lisandra. Johanna, I think you were trying to unmute. Go ahead, Johanna.
Is this Philadelphia too, Lysandra?
Yes,
Okay,
yeah.
thank you. Okay,
Sorry.
that helps. And is it relative providers that are trying to get their certification update? I'm sorry, not relative providers. It's providers just in general. Okay, thank you. Sorry, just want to clarify. All right. Then if you're comfortable maybe being on the call with Roberto, and I believe he does also speak Spanish, but I'll confirm. We can certainly add you to the call, because again, it would be helpful for him to address both issues, provider and individual CCW applicants.
Awesome. Johanna, tú querías incluir algo para tu pregunta, porque yo sé que ella te estaba preguntando algo. Okay, we can just come back to her. She might have not been able to.
No
unmute.
problem. No problem.
Okay,
Thank you.
awesome. And I'm pretty sure, and thank you so much, Christine. I'm pretty sure that a lot of the providers on the call would be more than willing. So if you do want to set up that meeting, we'll be more willing to send it out to everyone and say, you know, who wants to, you
Oh,
know.
that would be awesome. And would you be available potentially for translation needs?
Absolutely,
Fabulous.
absolutely.
Okay, fabulous. Thank you.
You're welcome. ¿Hay algunas más preguntas para Christine Reber en la línea? O algo más? Any other questions that you may have for Christine? Okay, that was pretty good. Okay, that was good. Thank you so much, Christine. I really appreciate you taking the time
Well,
and
thank you.
talking to the providers, but I think you got some meaty information here, so
Yes, yes.
that we can be following in. So I really appreciate you being with us today.
Thank you so much. And please, you have my contacts. If things come up, please reach out. I have a team here at the office that, like I said, we are dealing with things daily, and we like to be able to deal with them as quickly as possible. So please don't ever hesitate to reach out. Thank
We
you.
appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, so we thank Christine. The next speaker, Cynthia. You're my co-host. Where are you, Cynthia?
I'm sorry, I'm right here.
Okay.
So, our next host would be Tracy Childish, Director of Sparks. So nuestra siguiente persona sería la Tracy Childish, Directora de Sparks.
And
We have Denise Bermúdez, Director de PHL Pre-K. Tenemos a Denise Bermúdez, Director de PHL Pre-K, Director de PHL Pre-K.
Directora, perdóname, Miss.
Oh,
Typo. That's okay. That's okay. So I do know, Denise, you speak Spanish, so I know that you can pretty much facilitate this. Do you need translation, or you and Tracy? are
In
good?
some pieces, probably I'll let you know when I need that
Okay,
assistance.
perfect.
But I also have, I think, Carrie Lee here. She's
Yeah.
gonna, if it's okay if she shares her screen, she's gonna speak on behalf of
Absolutely.
PHMC as well. Thank
So
you.
Terry, I'm gonna make you a co-host, okay?
Great,
That
thank
way can
you.
share. You're welcome.
All right, so thanks again. Hi, everyone. My name is Denise Bermudez, and I'm the director of the PHL Pre-K program for the Office of Children and Families at the City of Philadelphia. Hola a todos, mi nombre es Denise Bermúdez y soy la directora del programa PHL Pre-K para la Oficina de Niños y Familias de la Ciudad de Filadelfia. I'm here with some of my coworkers, just talking a little bit about the PHL Pre-K program and what's going on and what's coming up. Y estoy muy orgullosa de estar aquí para hablar con la comunidad latina de educación infantil, porque es importante para mí como latina apoyar a mi comunidad que a menudo no tiene suficiente representación. So thanks for the invite, Damaris. Y gracias a todos para tenerlos hoy. So very first thing I want to do is explain that I'm going to be mostly talking in English. I'll get some translation. I'll let you know when we're going to need some assistance with that. Yo sí hablo español, pero hoy voy a presentar en inglés con mis compañeras porque ellas no hablan en español, y también mi español es como intermedio, so no quiero dejar nada fuera cuando estoy hablando hoy. All right, so on to the presentation. The very first thing you see here is our mission, and the mission of the PHL Pre-K program is to increase access to quality early learning by offering free pre-kindergarten programs to the children regardless of their family's income. I'm not sure if you would like to translate that or not.
If you bring, okay, so la misión de PHL Pre-K es para poderle darle acceso de quality early childcare y a darle gratis pre-kindergarten, programas pre-kindergarten de gratis para todas las familias, no importa en cuánto ellos ganen, el ingreso que ellos ganen.
So our quick overview is that the PHL Pre-K program, for those who do not know, did launch in January of 2017, and that started with free pre-K to about 2,000 children at 89 locations across the city. The program is funded by the Philadelphia beverage tax, the sugary beverage tax. And as far as offerings, we do offer 5.5 hours of daily education for 180 days over the 10 months of program. And then this year specifically, the program has grown to serve 4,300 students at 180 locations. And what that means is that we've served more than 13,000 students and families since the program's inception.
Okay, so I'm going to try my very best to translate that. El Philadelphia Pre-K comenzó en enero 2017. Los fondos vienen de Philadelphia Beverage Tax, so it's like the soda tax, como quien dice. Ellos ofrecen, PHL Pre-K ofrecen 5.5 horas diarios para 180 días durante 10 meses en la escuela. En la escuela anual, perdón. Esto comenzó de gratis, comenzaron con 2,000 estudiantes en 89 organizaciones por el Filadelfia, ¿verdad? Por Filadelfia. En este año el programa han crecido y están en 4,300 niños en 180 organizaciones. 13,000 más niños y familias están participando en PHL Pre-K desde cuando se comenzó.
Perfect, thank you. The next slide will just talk a little bit about what the PHL Pre-K system. Of course, we don't do this alone. We do this by working with some key partners to implement the program, and they are the Spark Quality Support Center, who provides quality supports to PHL Pre-K providers, and PHMC, who is our administrative intermediary, and they're responsible for managing the provider contracts, among a number of other things that they're going to go over in a minute.
Okay, so Denise quería decir que ellos no hacen esto solo, ellos trabajan con un intermediary que es de PHMC, también con PHL Pre-K Program y el ayudo y el apoyo de Spark, que es un Quality Support Center.
Thank you, Amari. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce now. I think Tracy's going to talk a little bit more about what Spark does.
Hi, everybody. Good afternoon. It is afternoon, right? We made it.
Yes, we made it.
We made it to 1:30 on Friday. I am the director of the Quality Support Center, as Denise said, and we provide the coaching and the training and technical assistance to all of the programs who have funding in PHL Pre-K.
Okay, I'm gonna, Cynthia wanted to translate for you. So Cynthia, go ahead.
No, ella estaba diciendo que ella trabaja para Sparks, que ella es un coach, una asistente, y que ella le busca ayuda en lo que necesita.
La capacitación y la asistencia técnica. Si no me
Gracias,
equivoco.
Marcelino.
A todos los programas que tienen fondos en Phoenix.
Okay, team effort. I love
Y también ella es la directora de la programa Spark.
Ok.
See, yeah, the more the merrier, I love it.
And so on this slide, you can see the various resources that we offer spelled out here. So you can go to these. If you go to our website, you can see our event calendar. We have a knowledge center, which is a hub for resources. I'll pause.
Marcelina, you want to go ahead and translate? I think Cynthia has
Yeah,
children.
no problem. Así que en la diapositiva que están viendo, en la imagen que están viendo compartida, pueden ver diversos recursos que ofrecen ellos detallados. Usted puede ir a ellos y si usted va a la página web de ellos, puede ver el calendario de eventos, que tienen un centro de conocimiento, que es un centro de recursos.
And we really coaches work and bring back information from providers to help us build trainings. And we are working right now to translate some of our on-demand trainings that we're launching this year. The first 7 are done and we're translating those 7 into Spanish. So that's also, a commitment we have moving forward with our trainings. And we hired our first bilingual coach this month, I think this month. So I'm excited about that. But and we have an advisory that Damaris sits on. So you can ask her questions as well about that work.
Bueno, y realmente ellos trabajan los coaches para traerles información de los proveedores para ayudarlos a construir entrenamiento. Están trabajando ahora mismo para transmitir algunos entrenamientos que están en trending. Están lanzando este año los primeros 7. Están ya hechos. Y los están traduciendo al español para dirigirnos a la comunidad latina. Que ellos sienten que tienen el compromiso con nosotros para seguir adelante con los entrenamientos y tener su primer entrenador bilingüe este mes. Así que puede hacerle preguntas sobre ese trabajo y todas esas cosas.
I did want to add that all of our trainings you get PQA credit for, and they're free for PHL Pre-K providers. So they're high quality, they meet your state requirements, and they're provided to you as a PHL Pre-K provider.
Ok, ella quiere añadir también que sus entrenamientos se obtienen créditos y son gratis para Philly Pre-K. Los proveedores, por lo que son de alta calidad, cumplen con los requisitos del estado y eso se proporcionan a usted como PHL Pre-K proveedor, como proveedor de PHL Pre-K. Cambio.
Great. Thank you. Thanks for translating.
I'm trying. Thank you, Tracy.
Translate. Simultaneous translation is really an impressive feat. So thank you.
I love the technology. Without that,
Awesome. Well, thank you, Tracy. Are you guys? I didn't want to. Oh, we do have more slides. Go ahead.
Yes. Hi, I'm Carrie
Oh.
Lee. I am the contracts manager at PHMC, which is the administrative intermediary. And I can go through the role that we play. First, we administer contracts and the flow of funds to providers. We do fiscal compliance monitoring, program reporting, enrollment activities oversight, data collection management analysis, and also build strategic partnerships.
Saludo, ella es Carrie. Ella es la gerente de contratos de PHMC, que es el intermediario administrativo. Ella puede pasar por el papel que desempeñan en primer lugar, administran contratos y el flujo de fondos a los proveedores. Hacen quejas fiscales, querellas fiscales, del programa de monitoreo, registro y actividades de inscripción, gestión y la recopilación de datos de supervisión, análisis y también construir asociaciones estratégicas. That's it.
Thank you. Okay, I'll break this one next time into a little more chunks for you. So this, we're really excited to be here today to announce that the PHL pre-K seat applications are going to be open next week. Plans are to increase seats in the 2023 to 2024 school year.
Okay, I'm sorry. Ellos están muy emocionados de estar aquí con nosotros para anunciar que las aplicaciones de pre-K van a estar abiertas la próxima semana. Los planes son aumentar las plazas en el año escolar, los espacios, en el año escolar 23-24.
Okay, there's going to be a simplified application for returning and pre-qualified providers, and I'll talk about that on the next slide. But the application is shorter with mainly multiple choice and fewer uploads for everyone, just in an effort to make it easier for providers to be able to apply.
Bueno, habrá una solicitud simplificada para regresar. Y los proveedores precalificados, que de eso van a hablar en la próxima presentación que ella va a poner en la pantalla, pero la aplicación es más corta, con principalmente múltiples opciones y menos su papeleo. Solo es un esfuerzo para que sea más fácil y se le haga más fácil a las familias, a los proveedores especialmente, para hacer la aplicación.
We do have language supports available. The application will be available in Spanish and simplified Chinese, and all the application information sessions will have subtitles in multiple languages.
Tenemos disponibles soportes de idioma. Hay varias opciones de idioma disponibles en la aplicación. Estará disponible en español, en el chino simplificado y en otros idiomas. Y en todas las sesiones de información de aplicaciones de la aplicación serán traducidos en varios idiomas.
Applicants can also request a coach and an interpreter to help them complete the application. Appointments are required, so if you email us at phlprek@phmc.org to let us know that you might need that help and for more information.
Los solicitantes también pueden solicitar ayuda de traducción, ayuda de un intérprete. Pueden completar la solicitud si se requiere hacer cita. Así que ustedes le pueden enviar un correo electrónico a phlprek@phmc.org y le hacen saber a ellos que pueden necesitar esa ayuda para más información.
So there are two applications available. The first is for renewal and pre-qualified providers. Those are current providers with contracts this school year.
Así que van a haber dos aplicaciones disponibles. La primera es para la renovación, para los que renuevan, y los proveedores precalificados. Esos son los proveedores actuales con contrato este año escolar.
This application also includes providers who were pre-qualified or waitlisted to receive seats this program year and attended an orientation session with Spark, pre-qualified orientation session with Spark Quality Sports Center in October or November.
Esta aplicación incluye proveedores que fueron precalificados en lista de espera para recibir asientos. Este programa asiste una sesión para la sesión de orientación precalificada con Spark Quality Sports Center en octubre y noviembre.
The other application is the request for qualifications, or RFQ, for new provider locations. This is designed to develop a pool of providers to support program expansion or redistribution of existing contracts.
El otro, la solicitud de calificaciones para ubicaciones de nuevos proveedores. Esto está diseñado para desarrollar un grupo de proveedores para apoyar el programa X de la aplicación y redistribución de contratos existentes.
Application information sessions are going to be next week. There's there'll be 4 available, 2 for renewal and pre-qualified locations and 2 for new locations.
La aplicación, información, sesiones van a ser la próxima semana. Hay 2 a 4 disponibles, 2 para la renovación y precalificados, lugares precalificados, y 2 para los nuevos lugares.
You can use the QR code on the right-hand side to register to get the links to these sessions.
Ustedes pueden utilizar el código QR que está al lado derecho de la página que están compartiendo para registrarse, para obtener los enlaces a las sesiones.
So the application sessions are recommended for all providers, but for the renewal and pre-qualified, they are strongly recommended. For the new locations, you will be required if you'd like to apply.
Sí, así que las sesiones de aplicación se recomiendan para todos los proveedores, pero para la renovación y precalificado se recomienda encarecidamente para las nuevas ubicaciones. Ello se les requerirá si quieres aplicar.
For the renewal training, it will be an hour with an additional add-on of 30 minutes for those providers who are looking to apply for a new location.
Sí, para el conocimiento de la renovación será 1 hora con adicional de 30 minutos para aquellos proveedores que están buscando para solicitar una nueva ubicación.
Okay. This is the last slide here. So if you require additional translation supports, you can email us at the phlprek@phmc.org.
Bueno, esa es la última página que está compartiendo ella. Así como si usted requiere soporte adicionales de traducción, usted puede enviarles un correo electrónico.
We're also accepting questions on the application until December 20th.
También están aceptando preguntas sobre la aplicación hasta el 20 de diciembre. Bueno.
So we'll take all those questions, put them in an FAQ document that will be released on January 5th, and that's going to be translated into Spanish and simplified Chinese.
Por lo tanto, tomarán todas esas preguntas en un documento de preguntas frecuentes y se publicará el 5 de enero para que se traduzca al español y al chino simplificado.
So that concludes our presentation. Thank you so much for the translation support. If anybody has any questions, we'd be happy to answer. Otherwise, we'll love to see you all at the application info sessions.
Nada, que ella agradece mucho la traducción que está haciendo la computadora por mí.
He said you're thanking him for something that the computer is doing for him. He has a tool that as you speak, it translates it for him automatically.
Oh, great.
Yeah, but he did a great job. Nobody was.
He did.
Yeah.
I'm a frustrated locutor.
Gracias, Marcelino. Si hay
You're
algunas
welcome.
preguntas en la llamada de algunos de los proveedores, si tienen alguna pregunta, pueden a preguntar ahora, lo pueden a poner en el chat o pueden a sacarse de mute y poder hablar. Somos un grupito pequeño, so aquí estamos para hablar. Aquí está PHL Pre-K, que muchísimos de ustedes me pidieron que trajeran. Ellos están aquí, so hablan ahora. So if you have any questions or you can either put them in a chat or you can unmute and feel free to ask your questions now. This is your Q&A sessions.
Tengo una pregunta.
Marcelino, can you translate? Ese fue. Marcelino,
Está en mute.
you're on mute, Marcelino.
Sí, yeah, I can. She have Lisandra Chéveres. I have a question. For who? ¿Para quién? Para Kerry.
Ajá. Uno de mis centros está actualmente en Estrella 1, pero
Okay,
Ajá.
Vamos por sesiones para no perdernos. One of her centers are in 1 star, Keystone Star.
Pero desde octubre se sometieron los papeles para subir a Estrella 2.
Okay, until October, she submit the documentation for be a 2 star. To Keystone Star, yeah.
Pero todavía no sé si es que no lo han trabajado, no sé si están atrasados, pero quería saber si aún así podía aplicar.
Okay, she don't know what happened with her application, and she want to know if she can apply just in case.
So I think that she's waiting for designation. And no one has responded, and she's still at a star 1, waiting to move up to a star 2, and wants to know if she can still qualify to apply.
So all star levels are eligible to apply. Star 1 and 2s are able to apply, but if awarded funds, will be required to move to at least star 3 in a required time frame. But we'll also go through all over the eligibility criteria in the application info sessions next week. So I encourage everybody to attend.
Sí, ella dice que todos los niveles de estrella son elegibles para aplicar. Estrella 1 y 2 son elegibles para aplicar. Pero si los fondos otorgados son requeridos para mover al menos a la estrella 3 en un tiempo requerido, pero también van a pasar por todos los criterios de elegibilidad en la aplicación. Sesiones de información la próxima semana, así que mucho ánimo a todos los que apliquen.
Ok, gracias.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You have any other questions?
¿Alguien tiene más preguntas? No more questions? Oh, the chat have a couple of, let me see. Oh no, it's okay.
No, I don't think there's any more questions. Oh, that was a very quiet chat today for a lot of people that had so many questions sent over to me. I want to make sure that we're clear. So star 1 and star 2, all star or star, no matter of your star level, star 1 and star 2 providers are eligible to apply. They would just have to, go through something to move them up by a certain time, right?
Yeah, if they're awarded a contract, then they'll be required to move to star 3 in the required time frame.
Thank you for clarifying that, because there was some miscommunication sent out, and folks are saying that they don't qualify unless they're a star 3. So I'm going to just translate that again, because from the horse's mouth was good that you guys are hearing you saying that. So si no importa en qué nivel que ustedes estén de estrella, si es una estrella 1 o si es una estrella 2, una estrella 3 o 4, ustedes pueden aplicar cuando y si lo aceptan sus negocios, sus organizaciones, entonces ellos trabajan con ustedes para poder moverse para el mínimo de una estrella 3 en un nivel de tiempo, pero eso también viene con soporte, ¿verdad? So that comes with the supports of Spark and everything else. It's like a holistic approach and moving them up from star level. So esto viene con algunas ayudas de Spark. And one of the questions were family childcare and zip code, target zip codes. Is there any areas that you guys are looking more into? And also, are family childcare providers allowed to?
Family childcare are allowed to apply as well. And we'll be sharing more about the priorities areas in the application information sessions.
Okay. Y adentro de las aplicaciones también están los zip codes y los sitios que ellos están en verdad buscando más gentes para que apliquen también. So when is your, I know I shared it, I just can't remember, I don't have it, and I don't want to bounce to it. When is the information session again?
They are next week, Tuesday, for renewal and pre-qualified providers. It's gonna be Tuesday, December 13th and Wednesday, December 14th. And we can send the dates and registration links to you as well. For new locations, it's gonna be the 14th, December 14th, and then also December 15th.
Okay. Para proveedores que ya tienen PHL Pre-K en este año, las reuniones van a ser miércoles, diciembre 13 y diciembre 14. Para nuevos proveedores va a ser en diciembre 14 y diciembre 15 para el próximo semana. Oh, there you go. Thank you.
Sorry about that. I should have thought of that
That's
sooner.
okay. I just wanted to make sure that, y para registrarse, pueden ir a www.phlprek, lo voy a poner en el chat para ustedes. ¿Hay algunas preguntas más para el PHL Pre-K team? Oh, I had a question for Tracy, sorry. One of the questions were, you mentioned that I guess the coaching and the trainings are free for PHL Pre-K providers. And one of the providers wanted to know, is there a cost for non-PHL Pre-K providers to access those trainings?
We do not do our services for fee right now, so it isn't open to that at this point in time.
But then are they open to, just to be clear, are they open to non-PHL Pre-K?
Coaching is not available to non-PHL Pre-K providers, and we have done a couple of things for all city providers. Like we helped partner to bring those active shooting trainings to the city, and that was marketed like outside of PHL Pre-K. But right now our trainings are for PHL Pre-K providers only. But I will say our knowledge center, which I put in here, which has a lot of resources, is open to everyone. It's open source at the time. And those decisions are made by the city of Philadelphia and the Office of Children and Families who fund us as their partners, right? So it's open to those people who are using city dollars for those PHL Pre-K sites. But the Knowledge Center is available, and check it out. It really does have a lot of resources in the meantime for everyone.
Are you able to put that? I did see the link. I think it was buried. Are you able to put it back in the chat?
And we have been working, our website has a translation button. The Knowledge Center has one. Oh, I'm having trouble talking and pasting. Hold on, do one at a time. The Knowledge Center has that for the text we put in, but because we're pulling in resources from outside of us, we are not legally able to just translate them, right? Because they're not ours. So we're trying to figure that out too. I'm gonna go find the link and put it in here.
Thank you, Tracy. La pregunta era que si los entrenamientos que estaban en el Spark, que si los proveedores que no cogen ahora mismo PHL Pre-K, si pueden ellos accesarlo, ¿verdad? Que si ellos pueden acoger esos entrenamientos. Y por ahora mismo no se pueden acoger los entrenamientos, pero Tracy va a poner un link adentro del chat de unos recursos que ellos tienen por el Knowledge Center, que es un montón de recursos que ellos tienen allá adentro. Lo único es que no están traducidos en español todavía, pero si pueden, si quieren meterse en el Knowledge Center, todas esas cosas son, todos esos recursos para ustedes son gratis. Okay, thank you.
Damaris, I had a question. Oh, Damaris, I had a question in the chat about what documents will be needed to apply. So we really encourage everybody to come to the info sessions to hear about that. We'll be going over, everything that you need to apply and demoing the application platform as well. And it's also going to be when it's posted, when the applications are posted, they'll be on the PHL Pre-K website.
Thank you. Thank you. We have any other questions? Well, Tracy, Denise, Carrie, thank you so much for coming to speak to our providers and to answer so many questions. We really appreciate you guys being here and bringing this over, for all the translations, for translating the applications as well, and really being intentional about including everyone to the table to apply. So we really appreciate this work that you guys are doing. Thank you for
Thank
coming.
you for having us. We hope
For
to
having
see
us.
Thank
Have a
you.
nice week.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, the next person that I would like to humbly introduce is Marta González, the owner of Ideal Philadelphia. Marta González es la dueña de Ideal Philadelphia. Marta habla inglés. So Marta va a estar aquí compartiendo con ustedes muchos recursos de tax credits y un montón de cosas de dinero. So Marta is here to, she is the owner of Ideal Philadelphia, and Marta will be sharing with you guys a whole bunch of resources on, taxes and childcare credit. Marta, I just need to see your beautiful face. I found you. I'm going to make your co-host.
Here we go.
Awesome. Go ahead.
All right. Thank you. And thank you so much for having me here. I am so excited to talk to everyone about a couple of things that have been going on in Philadelphia, especially with some of these credits that can really help everyone out, especially because of the pandemic. Y hablo español, me llamo Marta. Yo soy contable aquí en Filadelfia. He estado aquí en Filadelfia por 12 años haciendo contabilidad. Y una de las industrias mías es childcare. So, sé muchísimo de todo de childcare. Pero más Damaris y yo pensamos que más o menos para ayudarlos un poquito más sobre los impuestos y los créditos y los grants que están saliendo. Y ustedes quizás están adentro del childcare, donde ELRC está enviando información sobre de unos grants solamente para childcare, pero hay grant y dinero que es para negocios, ¿ok? Que no es solamente para childcare, pero para negocios. There's credits, grants that are out there, not just solely focused on childcare, but just because you have a business and that you're a business owner and you obtained employees. So I want to talk to you guys a little bit about that today. I can't really go into a whole lot of depth because we have a little bit of time, but at the end of my slide, you're going to see my information. Please feel free to reach out to me. Al último del slide, no tengo mucho tiempo, ¿verdad? Para hablar sobre todo en detalle, pero vamos a hablar un poquito y al final vas a ver el contacto mío. Por favor, me llamas, cualquier pregunta o solamente para hablar y consultar, a ver cómo ustedes pueden cualificar, ¿ok? All right, let me share my screen here a little bit. Right. Can everyone see it now? Here we go. Okay, ¿lo pueden ver? Yeah, okay.
Sí.
Okay, el primero es ERC. ERC is an employee retention credit, okay? Es un crédito de el IRS. Es más o menos dándole para atrás dinero que ustedes ya le han dado al gobierno, okay? It's actually a refund that you receive for your business. Just like an individual refund, it is a business refund. Como los refunds individuales, también los hay para negocio. Okay. El ERC fue introducido cuando salió el PPP. Todo el mundo conoce el PPP. Everyone has knowledge of PPP, the PPP loan, forgivable loan, right? It's a grant, but it'll become a loan if you cannot prove that you utilized it in a certain way. So the ERC, el ERC es porque ustedes obtenieron empleados durante la pandemia y ustedes pagaron payroll tax, okay? The ERC is a payroll tax refund because you retained employees throughout the pandemic. Now, there's certain qualifications here. Las cualificaciones son, tenían que estar en nómina, okay? The employees must have been on payroll. That means that you gave them a W-2 at the end of the year in 2020 or in 2021. Que usted le dio a su empleado un W-2 al fin del año del 2020 o el 2021, okay? Si usted no tuvo empleados que estaban en payroll, no cualificas. Okay, if you did not have payroll employees, you do not qualify. This is strictly due to payroll taxes. Okay, just gonna move along a little bit. ¿Cuánto están recibiendo? Los negocios están recibiendo de 10,000 a 26,000, si lo dije bien, de 10,000 a 26,000 por empleado retenido. Per employee is anywhere between $10,000 to $26,000. Okay, whether it's full-timers or part-timers. I'm gonna just skip through this a little bit here. Okay, what's the difference? ¿Cuál es la diferencia del PPP y el ERC? What's the difference between the PPP loan and an ERC? The PPP loan was restricted. You needed to exhaust the funds for payroll, for utilities, for rent, etc., vendors, etc. Ustedes tenían que usar el PPP para pagarles a los empleados, para pagar su renta del negocio, para pagar los vendors. El ERC no tiene requisitos. El ERC es dinero que te van a dar para atrás y usted lo puede usar en su negocio como usted quiera, ¿ok? ERC is a refund to your business, so there is no restrictions like the PPP where you had to physically pay out and prove that you were paying employees, rent, vendors, etc. The ERC funds come into your business and you utilize it as you wish for your business. Okay, there's a little more in depth than that, but again, if you need more information, please contact me or ask the questions afterwards. Okay, the requirements. The business must have been operating before the pandemic, before March 2020. Okay, el negocio tenía que estar operando antes de marzo 2020. So quiere decir, si usted abrió en enero 2020, usted cualifica. Okay, if the business had employees on payroll, el negocio tenía que tener empleados en nómina. Employees cannot be family members of owners, mothers, fathers, daughters, son. Let me explain that to you. If you pay yourself on a W-2, some owners do, you do not qualify as one of the potential refund 26,000 or 10,000, right? You will not qualify. If you had a family member, a daughter, a mother, an aunt, a sister, a cousin, grandma, granddad, nephew, niece, no relation to you will qualify. Si usted se paga en nómina, usted no cualifica. Si usted tiene una hija, madre, padre, primo, sus nietos, no cualifican. Tienen que ser empleados que no son de parte de familia del dueño de negocio. Ok, ¿cómo se cualifica? Se cualifica en dos maneras. How do you qualify? You qualify in two different ways. Number one is the gross revenue. If your gross revenue decreased 20% or more from 2020 to 2021, you automatically qualify. Si usted, el ingreso de su negocio fue 20% menos del 2020 al 2021, usted cualifica 100%. Ahora, también la otra cualificación es sobre los mandates que hicieron, cómo se impactó tu negocio. Obviamente, los child cares tuvieron que cerrar algunas semanas, algunos meses, ¿verdad? Ya cualificas. Child cares were forced to shut down 2 to 3 weeks, a month. So you were impacted. There was a disruption. So you automatically qualify as well. So either way, you qualify. And I'm pretty sure that there was a lot of childcare owners here that had to shut down, even if it was just for a week. Okay, let's skip that a little bit. Okay, the ERC is not a grant and it's not a loan. It is your money, your hard money, earned money that went to payroll taxes, and now it is returning back to you. Este dinero no es un préstamo, no es un grant. Esto es un dinero que usted se esforzó de pagarlo durante la pandemia y es suyo. ¿Ok? ¿Cómo usted puede aplicar? El contable de usted tiene que tener información sobre de este ERC. Your accountant should have information on ERC. Whether or not they want to be involved in applying is a whole other story. Not everyone gets involved in ERC. Why? Because there is a lot of paperwork to maintain, and it is a very hefty application to complete. So if your accountant does not or is not in the field of doing this, you can definitely reach out to someone that does specialize in this. For example, my office has teamed up with a specialist that will do ERC. Su contable tiene que saber sobre de esta aplicación, pero no todos contables se ponen a hacer la aplicación porque es un poquito complicada y estamos cerca también para los tax season. Hay muchos factors en el por qué su accountant no lo puede hacer. Pero la oficina mía sí. Yo tengo un grupo de personas que son especialistas para el ERC. ¿Ok? Ahora, su payroll company, si usted le paga a Paychecks, ADP para procesar su payroll, también usted puede hablar con ellos. También ellos te ayudan. If you have a third party like Paychecks or ADP, they can also help you. Now, all of this is key. Please be careful with scams. I want to really iterate on this. Por favor, tengan mucho cuidado con las llamadas que reciban sobre del ERC, porque sí están haciendo cosas malas allá afuera para obtener tu dinero y nunca vas a ver nada, ¿ok? Por favor, vaya a su contable o vaya con su third party, o obviamente oficinas como la mía, que sí son especialistas en esto. Now, your accountant will probably have his own fee. I know that Paychecks and ADP charge about 25 to 30% of whatever you are going to receive, okay? Sé que Paychecks y ADP te va a cobrar de 25% a 30% de lo que usted va a recibir. ¿Ok? En este caso, el contable suyo tendrá su precio de esta aplicación. En la oficina mía, se le cobra 15%. My office will charge 15%. It's not really my office. It's actually the specialist. They charge 15% and it's when contingent to when you receive the refund. So that means that if you don't receive the refund, you don't pay. Es solamente cuando usted reciba su dinero. Ahí es que usted va a pagar el 15%. No es antes y no es si es que lo vas a recibir. Simplemente cuando usted reciba el dinero, usted le paga al especialista. Si no, si te descualifican de una manera u otra o no te llega el dinero, no tienes que pagar nada, obviamente, porque es contingent a que usted reciba ese dinero. Ok, antes que yo vaya al ERC, ustedes tienen a las otras credits. ¿Ustedes tienen preguntas sobre el ERC? Does anybody have questions on the ERC before I move on to the other credits?
Hay una pregunta en el chat que la pregunta es si esto funciona para family daycare, donde la dueña es la única trabajadora. Does this qualify? Does family childcare providers that are so people working in the organizations, do they
Right.
qualify?
So home child cares do qualify. Los cuidos de las casas para los niños sí cualifican, solamente es que necesitan estar en payroll, pero ustedes no están en payroll y no tienen empleados. So en este caso suyo no cualifican para este ERC, okay? Under these circumstances of that home child care, they do not qualify because they are not on payroll and they don't have employees that were on payroll. Even if you had one employee, si usted tuvo un empleado que no sea familia en el 2020 y usted le pagó en nómina, ellos cualifican. Pero si usted se pagó usted misma, no, usted mismo no cualifican. If you paid yourself, only yourself through payroll, you do not qualify, unfortunately.
Thank you. ¿Alguna más preguntas? Any more questions? You can either put in the chat or unmute if you can. ¿Tiene alguna pregunta? I think we're good to go.
Okay, we're good. Okay, so vamos ahora para el child tax credit. Let's go over to the child tax credit because there has been so many confusing information out there on child tax credit. And I'll explain. Sobre el child tax credit, que es el dinero que le dan de los niños a los padres, se cualifica el niño, ellos te dan, y vamos a ponerlo así en quote and quote, estaban dando $3,600 en el 2021. They were giving $3,600 in 2021, right? Even in 2020, you were getting $3,600. Unfortunately, en el 2023 para el 2022, unfortunately for 2023, taxes 2022, it has been reduced from $3,600 back to $2,000. Okay, and this is for a qualifying child. What is a qualifying child? ¿Qué cualifica un niño para este dinero? Tiene que tener menos de 6 años, ¿ok? Si es más de 6, si el niño es más de 6 años, 7 a 17, porque sí lo subieron del 16 a 17. Si su niño es de 7 años a 17, le van a dar 1,500, ¿ok? You're going to get $1,500 for children that are 7 to 17. They did change the threshold from 16 to 17. This is still not in stone. Esto no está escrito todavía, porque todavía el gobierno está trabajando en esto, pero solamente nos queda una semana, porque antes de esa semana ellos se van de winter break y taxes empieza. So, obviamente, lo que yo expliqué ahora mismo va a correr hasta que en el medio del tax season, si cambian eso, los cambios entonces se hacen y usted recibe más si es que es más. Okay? As you know, we only have one more week for government to really make this final and pass this through. They go on to winter break. We come back from winter break and it's not still in stone. We're going to ride with these numbers until those changes are made in the middle of tax season, and which at that time you will receive retro, or you would have to give back the following year if you fall into that mixed up time frame of tax season. Okay. Any questions with child tax care? I mean, child tax credit?
Si tiene alguna preguntas para el child tax credit, el crédito de tax Crédito
los
de
niños.
taxes de los niños, sí.
Día de
Me,
los niños.
me quedé tumba.
Okay.
Oh, I think they're pretty good. Okay. Sí,
Ok,
hay
y
una
el
pregunta.
último, el último que nos toca a nosotros, ¿verdad? El Child Care Tax Credit, que es los cuidos de los niños. Esto también ha cambiado. El máximo, the max of Child Tax Credit in 2021 was $8,000. Ok, era $8,000 en el 2021. Now, it is going to reduce to the max being $2,000. Yes. El máximo
Why did
ahora,
it reduce? Why did it reduce that much? Porque
I would love to know as well, Damaris, but unfortunately, Republicans, Democrats, they're still fighting this out. Again, this information is not concrete yet until, you know, they sort things out. Not to get into political things, but from what I'm understanding, if there's no changes in anything child related, they're going to remove corporate credits and stuff like that to kind of balance it out. So they're in the middle of that. And unfortunately, this was the week, last week they sat down, this is what they confirmed. And now we're waiting for the upcoming changes. And I'm pretty sure that all of this is going to change during tax season, which is going to be the most frustrating for individuals, right? Me imagino que en el, como todo, durante el tax season es que van a hacer todos estos cambios y todo el mundo va a ser chaos. Anywho, en el 2021 dieron $8,000 el máximo, ahora lo bajaron a $2,000, ¿ok? El Child Care Tax Credit, si no sabían, si usted tiene una familia que tiene copay, usted le tiene que dar la información suya de su negocio para que ellos obtengan este crédito en sus impuestos individuales. Que me imagino que ya todo el mundo lo hace, ¿verdad? Le entrega su EIN number. Ojalá todo el mundo lo tenga, aunque tenga un home care, ¿verdad? Un home child care. Even if you have a home child care, I'm hoping and wishing that you all have EIN numbers that you provide to your families so that they can provide the IRS the information for them to obtain some of the child care tax credit. Does anyone have questions around that? ¿Tienen preguntas sobre eso?
No, I think. ¿Algunas preguntas para Marta?
Okay.
When is business taxes?
So
due?
business, los negocios, los impuestos de los negocios tienen el deadline en marzo 13. March 13 is the business deadline. So you guys should be already preparing for taxes so that your tax accountant should already be sitting down with you in January, going through everything and ensuring that you get e-filed business taxes before March 13. Antes de marzo 13. Son lo que van los negocios. Ok. Si ven aquí está toda mi información. Yo estoy en Hunting Park. Ay, no puse la dirección de la oficina, Dios mío. I didn't put my office number, my office address. So I'm Hunting Park, 236 East Hunting Park. Let me put that on the chat.
And you only work in Philadelphia, or do you work across Pennsylvania? Like
I work across Pennsylvania.
Okay.
I do all states, licensed in all states.
Okay, awesome.
Yes. There we go. Okay. Now, again, my office is located here in the community, and obviously my goal has always been to help small businesses grow, especially explain to them and gain them knowledge of what's out there that they do not have any knowledge of, just like Walmart or the biggest child care companies, they get access to all of this, all that access that they have to you. And that is my mission. My mission is to not only complete these applications for you or just give you the knowledge of the actual applications, but also understand how grants, loans, and this fund from the ERC will impact your business, because you still have to pay taxes on this money that comes in, which is very important to understand. And helping you understand the operations financially will help you make better decisions as a business owner. No solamente ayudo los negocios, ¿verdad? Con la información de los grants, pero también para explicarle cómo ese dinero afecta a tu negocio. Porque obviamente, aunque sea dinero gratis, hay que pagar impuestos. Y cómo se gasta el dinero es muy importante. El ERC es un dinero muy grande si tienes muchos empleados, y se tiene que usar inteligentemente, porque si no, vas a pagar muchos taxes solamente en ese dinero que te están dando para atrás. ¿Ok? Si necesitas una consulta, tienes preguntas, me puedes llamar, me puedes textear, me pueden buscar en Facebook, en Instagram, en TikTok. Siempre estoy dando información gratis. Pienso que para dar la información que está allá afuera, no se debe de cobrar, se debe de anunciar y decírselo a todos los latinos y mis my small business owners, porque ellos también tienen el derecho de saber que todo esto está para ustedes también. Everyone has the opportunity to know that all of this they're eligible for as well, and they can obtain everything that the big box stores and big box industries also have. Okay? And thank you so much for having me here, Damaris. Gracias a todos for having me here today.
Thank you so much
Gracias,
for sharing
Marta.
all this wealth of knowledge. It was amazing. I think we're going to bring you back. Maybe we should just do like one seminar or a webinar or something like that. I think that we could so much dig more deep into this stuff. So thank you for sharing this information.
Thank you. Thank you. Let me see how I stop this here. Hold on. There we go.
So
Thank you.
I would like to introduce Kevin Lewis. He's the owner of Permisian Credit Counseling. I'm going to have Mr. Marcelino translate for Kevin Lewis, and Kevin's going to share some resources on personal and business credit repair and restoration. So aquí estamos con Kevin Lewis, que es el dueño de Permisian Credit, consejo de crédito. Él va a darle unos recursos y una información en cómo ustedes pueden ayudarlos en avanzar y a crecer sus créditos personal y también con sus negocios. So Kevin and Marcelino, you are up.
Thank you guys for having me. And I'm going to apologize to you guys. I learned Spanish some time ago, but I don't speak it fluently. It's unfortunate. I know I look Dominican, but I'm not Dominican. And so, Marcelino, I'm going to ask that you translate for those who need the translation.
Saludos a todos por invitarme. Se quiere disculpar con ustedes. Él aprendió español hace algún tiempo, pero no lo habla con fluidez. Él dice que es lamentable porque él parece dominicano, pero no es dominicano. Y, y nada, y me pide que traduzca para todos ustedes.
So I am the owner of Permisian Credit Counseling. We help individuals and businesses get access to capital through credit, really by empowering them to understand the ins and outs of both personal credit and business credit. We really have a huge focus on the business credit side, but we do the personal credit side as well. And so I'm going to start actually with personal credit, tell you a little bit about it, and then I'll go into a conversation about business credit. I'll stop there and then I'll go to the next, please, Marcelino.
Sí, él es el que ve el crédito y hace asesoramiento. Ellos ayudan a individuos y a las empresas a tener acceso al capital, al crédito, realmente dándoles poder para subestimar subestimar los pormenores tanto del crédito personal como el de los negocios. Ellos se centran mucho en el crédito comercial, pero hacen a un lado el crédito personal. También así va a empezar realmente con el personal con crédito personal. Él pide que les cuenten un poco sobre ello, o él les va a contar un poco sobre ello y luego entrará en una conversación sobre el crédito comercial. Él se detendrá ahí y luego ahora irá a la siguiente parte.
Perfect. And I have my contact information up on the screen. When I finish having the conversation, I will put it back up on the screen for anybody that wants to reach out. We really work to help the Black and Latin communities get to these principles, these concepts, and empower them. We know that those two communities have their own unique challenges in the credit space. So if anybody wants to reach out, they can do so using the contact information that they see on the screen there. And again, it will be repeated at the end of our conversation.
Él tiene la información de contacto de él en la pantalla, que ahora mismo lo está compartiendo. Cuando termine de tener todo lo que nos va a decir, la pondrá de nuevo en la pantalla para cualquiera que quiera, ¿verdad? Acercarse a él o llamarlo, comunicarse con él. Realmente trabajan para ayudar a las comunidades latinas a llegar a estos principios, estos conceptos y poder llegar. Y a las comunidades negras también. Sabemos que estas dos comunidades tienen sus propios desafíos únicos en el espacio de crédito. Así que si alguien quiere llegar, puede hacerlo. Así que usando la información de contacto que ven en la pantalla, se repetirá al final de la conversación.
Great. So let's start the conversation by dictating, or not dictating. There's no dictatorship here. Forgive me. Let's start the conversation by discussing the differences between personal credit and business credit. So we'll go here. Personal credit, most of you, if not all of you, should be familiar with both personal and business credit, but certainly you are all familiar with personal credit. And personal credit simply means any credit that is secured using your social security number. And it's rated using a FICO score. Business credit is any credit that's secured using your business's EIN number, and it is rated using a PAYDEX rating. Now, notice that I said FICO score and PAYDEX rating when we're talking about the difference. So in personal credit, you're going to get a score. It's going to range from 350 to 850. In some places you'll see 300 to 850. In some places you'll see 350 to 800, but for the most part, you can go 350 to 850. But in any event, it is going to give you a number that dictates your rating or your credit worthiness on the personal side. On the business side, you get a PAYDEX rating, and although there is a score, that score is associated with a letter grade, just like you would get in school. So a PAYDEX score is going to be from 0 to 100, 0 being the lowest rating, the 100 being the highest rating, and oops, I got somebody, there's somebody that's not on mute.
I got him.
Thank you. So the score is going to connect to or relate to a letter grade. So anything from 0 to 59 is going to give you an F letter grade. Anything from 60 to 69 is going to give you a D letter grade.
I think, Kevin, I'm so sorry to interrupt. I just want to make sure that Marcelino is catching up. So that's a lot to translate. Can you give it a pause for 1 second?
Sure.
Let him translate and try to catch up.
Sure.
Thank you. Ok, vamos a comenzar este tema discutiendo las diferencias entre el crédito personal y el de negocio. Así que van a ir a un crédito personal, la mayoría de ustedes. Si no todos, ustedes deben estar familiarizados con el crédito personal y el de negocios. Pero sin duda todos ustedes están familiarizados con el crédito personal. Y crédito personal simplemente significa cualquier crédito que está garantizado con su número de seguro social y está calificado usando un crédito comercial del fisco, del crédito, la puntuación de crédito. En cualquier crédito que está asegurado usando sus negocios, el número EIN y está clasificado usando un PAYEX. Ahora noten el rating cuando cuando estamos hablando de la diferencia. Así que el crédito personal vas a obtener una puntuación. Se extenderá a algunos lugares, diferencia en algunos lugares. Verán de 300 a 850 en algunos de ustedes, verán de 350 a 800, pero en su mayor parte se puede ir de 350 a 850, pero en cualquier caso va a darte un número que dicta tu puntuación o tu solvencia en el lado personal o en el lado empresarial. Obtienes una calificación de un pago X y aunque hay una puntuación, esa puntuación está asociada con una letra A grande, como lo haría una puntuación. Ahí me perdí un poquito, discúlpenme. Discúlpame.
No, está bien.
Ok.
Lo que estaba dando son los créditos en cómo oh my gosh, how you describe the different credit ratings, ¿verdad? So, por letras, so si llega un cierto número, las letras, crédito está bajito. Si llega a un cierto número, la letra tan, por supuesto, de crédito está un poco mejor. Go ahead, Kevin, I'm sorry.
Okay, great. So, and I realized, listening to it, I realized how much of that you've got to translate. So let me see if I can break it up into smaller chunks. You want to go ahead and translate that?
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Go ahead, yeah. Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yep.
Go ahead.
So the business credit rating from 0 to 100, from 0 to 59 is going to give you an F rating. From 60 to 69 is going to give you a D rating. From 70 to 79 is going to give you a C. From 80 to 89 is going to give you a B. 90 to 100 is going to give you an A. And when you pull your business credit rating, you'll see just the letters, not the numbers.
Ok, él dice que la puntuación que le van a dar la calificación de 60 a 69 le van a dar una clasificación D. De 70 a 79 le van a dar una C, es como las clasificaciones de la escuela. De 80 a 89 le van a dar una A. Perdón, una B. Y de 90 a 100 le van a dar una A. Y cuando usted tira de su negocio, la clasificación crediticia, usted va a ver solo las letras, no los números. O sea que si usted recibe una B, es que usted tiene de 80 a 89. Eso es un ejemplo. Okay.
All right. So let's go into personal credit. Before I get into the conversation, I want to tell you that people really get caught up in personal credit scores, but I'm going to ask that you be concerned more about your personal credit profile than your personal credit scores. And what I mean by that is there are many credit monitoring utilities that will send you alerts about your scores, so forth and so on. But if you look at your credit profile and you fix all of the issues in your credit profile, then all of your scores will be good. And we're going to go over each one of the components of your credit profile just a minute after that has been translated.
Okay. Bien, vamos a entrar en el crédito personal antes de entrar en el comercial. Quiere decirles que la gente realmente consigue subir ¿verdad? Las cuentas personales de crédito, pero le va a pedir que te preocupes más por tu perfil de crédito personal. Entonces, sus puntajes de crédito personales, y lo que quiere decir con eso es que hay muchas utilidades de monitoreo de crédito que le enviarán alertas sobre sus puntajes y etcétera, y así sucesivamente. Pero si se fijan en su crédito, perfil, y usted fija todos los problemas en su crédito, perfil, entonces, en su perfil de crédito, perdón, todos sus puntajes será bueno y van a repasar cada uno de los componentes de su crédito después de que yo les tradujera. You can continue.
All right.
Okay.
So on everyone's credit report, there are really 7 data points. There are actually 8 if you include public records, but we won't go too far into depth about public records. I'll make mention of them in the end. But on everybody's credit report, there are 7 data points that you want to make sure you've taken good care of. And these are listed in order of importance. So the first data point is your payment history. That's the most important component of your credit report. Okay, that's the most important component of your credit report. And you want to have no late or missed payments on any of your credit within the last 24 months.
Okay.
Marcelina, I'm gonna help you translate. Para el crédito hay siete puntos que ellos miran, que son 7 datas, ¿verdad? Para el primero, y siempre va con el más importante el principio y después sigue lo adelante. So, el primero es más importante, es la historia de cómo ustedes pagan, pagaré, ¿verdad? So, no puede tener ningunos pagareces que son tales o que no ha pagado y skipped un mes. So, tiene que ser 24 meses de pagareces en tiempo. Go ahead, Kevin.
Perfect. All right, I'm going to go through the next 3 components on the credit report, and then I'll let you translate that. All right, so the next most important, again, remember, these are in order of importance. What you see on the screen is in order of importance, or the most impact on the credit report. So the next most impactful thing on your credit report is your credit utilization. In other words, your credit card limits versus your credit card outstanding balances. And in your credit utilization, you want to use no more than 25% of your credit limit. For example, if you have a credit card that has $1,000 limit, you don't want to use more than $250 of that at any one given time.
So, la utilización de su crédito no debería de estar más de 25%. Si ustedes tienen un crédito de $1,000, entonces lo gastaré, el bill no debería de ser más de $250 para eso, sino va a recibir puntos por eso.
All right. The next most impactful component is your credit age. That is how long you've had credit. And in order to be good in this component, you have to have 7 years or more of credit, which means that the total amount of time that you have all of your credit that's on your credit report should be 7 years or more.
Para este punto, el tiempo que ustedes tienen crédito, ¿no? Tiene que tener crédito por más de 7 años. Durante 7 años, los 7 años tiene que tener el crédito y también trata de no pagar en tiempo por esos 7 años también.
All right. The next most important is new credit, what you guys may know as inquiries, hard inquiries. And those are simply companies that are pulling your credit and putting that they pulled your credit onto your credit report. You should have no more than 3 hard inquiries in a 24-month period per credit bureau.
El próximo es cuando piden crédito o están buscando crédito, no deberían de tener más de 3 inquiries. I'm trying to figure out what's inquiries. Investigaciones o aplicaciones, ¿verdad? Cuando están aplicando.
Indagaciones.
Instalaciones, ok.
Integraciones.
Más de 3 en 24 meses. So, si ustedes están aplicando por un carro, es un hard inquiry. Si están aplicando por un loan, un préstamo, es un hard inquiry. So, tengan en cuenta que no tengan más de 3 en 24 meses. Go.
All right. Number 5 is credit mix, and credit mix is typically what messes up the credit profiles in the African American and Latinx communities. And so there are 3 categories of credit. There's installment credit, and installment credit means any credit that you have where you pay the same amount every month, no matter what the interest rate is. An example would be your mortgage, car loan, student loans, personal loans. The next category, let me do all 3 of those.
Yep, go ahead.
The next category of credit is revolving. That is, you pay a different amount depending on how much you use and what the interest rate is. Those are credit cards. And then open is sort of a hybrid between the 2. You pay a different amount depending on the interest and how much you use, but you're usually required to pay the entire amount back at a specified period of time. And examples of those would be no preset limit credit cards.
We're good. Okay. Esto es para el mezclo, que es la primera la instalación, cuando ustedes pagan mortgages o pagan un carro, que es una cuenta de lo mismo mensual. El otro es revolving, crédito revolving, que son como 3 cuentas que pueden, que cuando hacen los pagares. Marcelino, are you able to help me with this translation? Because I think I'm losing the wording for the revolving credit. Bueno, para revolving credit es cuando tienen
I'm
crédito.
sorry.
No, that's okay. That's okay.
Um,
I was looking for translation for the revolving credit because I kind of lost that. I'm losing those wording for that revolving credit. Y el tercero era crédito abierto, ¿verdad? Que es con los dos, cuando ustedes tienen mucho crédito y están pagando un ridículo por ciento para atrás y cantidad
interés.
de interés, sí. Por eso es un credit mix. Sorry, go ahead.
Eso
No
mismo.
problem. And as you can see here on the screen, in each one of the categories, so in installment, you want to have at least 2 accounts. In revolving, you want to have at least 3 accounts. And in open, you want to have at least 2 accounts. You can have more than that, but you want to have at minimum those 2-3-2 relationships.
Como ustedes pueden ver, ahí en la pantalla, cada una de las categorías. Usted quiere tener menos 2 cuentas en rotación, que desea tener al menos 3 cuentas, y una abierta que desea tener al menos menos cuentas. Puedes tener más de eso, pero usted tiene que tener como mínimo esos 2, 3 o 2 relaciones.
Perfect. All right. The next category is collections. And collections simply means you didn't pay a bill. The company sent that account to a collections agency, and it's being reported on your credit report. In order to have a good credit profile, you don't want to have any collections on your credit report or no open balances. So you want to pay the collections accounts.
La siguiente categoría es de casos de colecciones. Simplemente significa que no pagaste una factura, la empresa envió esa cuenta a una agencia de cobros. Por eso que dice que se colecta. Y se está informando en su informe de crédito para tener un buen crédito. Usted no quiere tener ningún cobro de su crédito en su informe de crédito o ningún saldo abierto. Tener todo saldo.
All right. And charge-offs. Charge-offs are typically what happens before collections. That means a company has said you're not going to pay them back. So we're going to charge it off. And there's a whole IRS thing around charge-offs. We won't get into that, but it simply means that The company does not expect you to pay the money back.
Dice que
However, they're not going to send you to a collections agency.
Dice que específicamente lo que sucede antes de que le hagan una colección, que significa que una empresa ha dicho que no se va a pagar de nuevo. Así que vamos a pagarlo y hay todo un asunto del IRS alrededor de cargarlo, que no va a entrar en eso. Pero simplemente significa que la empresa no espera que usted devuelva el dinero.
Perfect. And so as far as personal credit is, as long as you have these things in place in each one of these categories, you will have great credit scores. You have a great credit profile, and you should be able to qualify for any credit. And the reason I brought up personal credit first is because if you own a business and you're trying to build business credit, they're going to lean on your personal credit in the early stages of the process until your business has proven credit worthiness, and we'll get into that shortly.
Y en la medida que el crédito personal es tan largo, usted como usted tiene esas cosas en donde van, en cada una de estas categorías, usted tendrá grandes puntuaciones de crédito. Usted tiene un gran crédito y usted debe ser capaz de calificar para cualquier préstamo o cualquier solicitud de crédito. Y la razón que le ha traído colisión del crédito personal primero es porque si usted posee un negocio y usted reintenta construir el crédito de negocio, ellos van a apoyarse en su crédito personal. Y en las etapas tempranas del proceso, hasta que usted tiene su crédito aprobado de negocio, con mérito, y ya mismito estaremos con eso. Okay, Kevin.
Okay. And for the sake of time, I'm not going to go into how to fix any of these if you have issues there. But if you want to contact me, like I said, I will leave my contact information up at the end of the conversation, and we can have a further discussion about how to fix any issues that you have in any one or several of these categories.
Bueno, si tiene problemas ahí, pero si quieres ponerte en contacto con él, como Kevin, como dijo, dejará su información al final de la conversación y pueden tener una discusión adicional sobre cómo solucionar cualquier problema que tenga cualquiera.
Okay. So now we'll go to business credit, and we're going to move through that pretty swiftly.
Bien, ahora van al crédito comercial y van a movernos a través de eso bastante rápido. Creo que tiene problemas de conexión. He has connection problems.
Are you there, Kevin?
You hear me, Kevin?
Oh, no. Okay, bueno, como ustedes saben que la tecnología, the technology is kind of crazy. So we'll just wait for him to come back in and allow him to finish up. Pero yo sé que, oh, yep, we lost Kevin. I'm so sorry. Yo quería coger este momento para poder introducir a Jackie Grochman. Jackie Groch es the first stop y ella quería compartir una cosa con ustedes. So I just wanted to take a moment to introduce Jackie Groch. Jackie Groch is, I'm going to let her introduce herself. Go ahead, Jackie.
Good afternoon, everybody, and thanks so much, Damaris. I'm so excited to join my first LEJ meeting, so thanks for having me. I am the Public Policy Outreach Coordinator at First Up, and I also serve on CPEC with Damaris.
So Jackie trabaja con First Up. Ella es política pública con First Up y también trabaja conmigo en CPAC, en abogacía.
So I wanted to share that all this week, early childhood advocates have been in Washington, D.C., meeting with members of Congress about passing a year-end budget that includes childcare and pre-K funds.
So queríamos decirle que hay muchos proveedores que ahora mismo están, I'm sorry, I had lost your thing. So Marcelino, were you able to catch any of it?
I can do it.
Oh, go, Cynthia. I'm sorry, Cynthia. I'm glad you're back. Cynthia's with you. Cynthia's your
So-
girl.
So ella estaba diciendo de que muchos proveedores de educación para infantiles están ahora mismo abocando para en Washington y que con los miembros del Congreso sobre pasando este año un presupuesto que incluya el cuidado de niños para los preescolares con fondos.
Gracias, Cynthia. So members of Congress need to hear from you and parents and community members. And I put in the chat box a link that you can email them and share that link with your families and colleagues, urging them to put funds in the year-end budget for childcare and pre-K. Thank you.
So que ya los miembros del Congreso necesitan escuchar de ustedes y de los padres y de la comunidad y que han puesto y que ella puso en el chat el link y el correo electrónico para que ustedes se comuniquen y se lo den a sus colegas, a la familia, para urgirles para poner los fondos en este año y que el presupuesto para el cuidado de niños y preescolares. Y gracias.
Thank you, Jackie, thank you. Bueno, hoy ha sido un meeting, una reunión poderoso. Teníamos aquí a ELRC, teníamos aquí también a PHL Pre-K, tenemos también a Marta González de IDEO y Kevin, aunque nada más habla un poquito porque se le cortó la comunicación, pero ustedes tienen la información de todito en poder reunirse con ellos. Ahora quería coger este momento para hablar de un programa ahora en enero que va a comenzar por nosotros, es el Consejo de la Comisión Hispana de Pensilvania. So levanta tu voz. Estamos cogiendo aplicaciones, ¿verdad? Para los que quieran entrar para poder hablar y levantar su voz. Vamos a estar hablando de muchísimas cosas. Una cosa que vamos a estar hablando es Actel. ¿Qué es lo que está pasando en Actel? Si ustedes tienen investigadoras o inspectores que están llegando en sus programas y están haciendo cosas que no es fair, tú puedes entrar a esta comisión para levantar su voz. Porque yo me he dado cuenta que hay mucha gente que están pasando por muchísimas cosas. Yo igual, yo también. Y tenemos que levantar la voz para poder atraer estas cosas que están pasando en nuestros programas para atrás para Actel, para atrás para ELRC, para atrás también a PHL Pre-K. So aquí le puse en el chat y Marcelino lo puso otra vez, gracias Marcelino, el link si ustedes se quieren meter en la comisión, va a comenzar el año que viene, en enero, que es unos par de semanas, se pueden llenar eso. So here goes the link. We are forming a PA Hispanic ECE Commission Council. Lift your voices. So what I put in the chat is a link for an invitation. We would like to hear your voices. We will be forming in January, hopefully late January of next year, and really putting some groundwork and putting your voices to work. So more information will follow, but if you are interested, please fill out the chat for me. I mean, the link, it's in the chat for me. The next thing is that LEJ Latinos Educando Juntos is also finalizing its board. We're finally becoming a board, guys. We're going to have board members. So this is really exciting now that we're a nonprofit. So ahora estamos buscando miembros de las juntas para formular el interés. So if you are interested in becoming a board member, please email your resume and your bio to info@latinoseducandojuntos.org. Si están interesados, pueden mandar su resumen y su bio info a Latinos Educando Juntos y .org, y eso también está en el chat. Ok. En el chat también está, nosotros estamos formulando también, tenemos ya un Facebook, pero estamos tratando de hablar con tanto ustedes, muchísima gente no miran email, correo electrónico, no tienen tiempo, y alguna gente sí lo que miran es Facebook y WhatsApp, ¿verdad? So, si ustedes quieren conectarse para el Facebook de nosotros, que es Latinos Educando Juntos Facebook, se pueden conectar y Marcelino puso también en Facebook para que le den clic ahí y pueden conectarse por Facebook. Lo podemos conectar por Facebook. Okay, so we have a Facebook as well. And if you would like to connect in Facebook, because not everyone reads emails, not everybody likes to read emails or doesn't have time for emails. But if you are big on social media, we do have a Facebook link, a page, and we can definitely communicate there, and you can get all the latest resources from there as well. So Marcelino had placed the Facebook link in the chat. So those are the three things that I'm going to put in the chat before my exit survey. But I do want to give you a little bit of time to really go in through the link that I'm sorry, the link that Jackie shared. Did you share the link, Jackie? You did. Okay.
Sorry.
I didn't see. I'm sorry. The link that Jackie shared. Si ustedes pueden con un momento llenarlo, y otra vez también para la comisión y el Facebook, si se pueden conectar, se lo agradezco. Y hay otro más, no se me vayan todavía. Tengo un link también que es el exit link, que ya estamos terminando lo último de la reunión. Si pueden llenarme el exit link, podemos terminar la reunión con un banger. Marcelino, si usted puede poner el exit link, ahí está. So aquí está el exit link. Por favor, si me lo pueden llenar, porque así es que yo sé lo que trabaja, lo que no trabaja, lo que fue bueno de las reuniones y qué es lo que ustedes quisieran ver en futuras reuniones. Bueno, nada más tenemos 3 minutos para atrás. Perdonarme con Kevin, que no le pude dar el espacio para volver para atrás porque ya terminamos. Kevin, I wanted to give you a thank you, and Jackie, obviously. But Kevin, I want to thank you for coming. I know that we have ran out of time, and the technology kind of went all berserk with me, and I am so sorry. But we did run out of time, but we do invite you to any future meetings that we have. We can talk off camera. And we can definitely, talk about a next time that you could come in, because I feel like you have so much useful information that the providers should be listening to. So we welcome you back, and maybe in January's meeting, maybe we can just open up the floor so we can, do a replay of this, okay? And thank you for coming. I really do appreciate you. I just want to acknowledge you. Okay.
Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you. And Jackie, again, thank you for sharing advocacy for us, because we always want advocacy and need advocacy. So otra vez le puse los links en el chat. Cuando terminaron, se pueden ir, me imagino, se pueden quedar conmigo, lo que ustedes quieran. Muchísimas gracias a todos. Feliz Navidades. Feliz, próspero año nuevo. No los veremos la cara hasta el diciembre, que es la próxima junta de nosotros, que yo creo que es en enero. En enero 13, 2023, a la 1 de la tarde, y los vemos pronto.
Nos vemos, muchas gracias.
Y gracias, Marcelino y así.
No, gracias a ti por confiar en nosotros y darnos la oportunidad.
Siempre.
Gracias.
You're welcome.
Bien.